Humans Don't Make Good Familiars, Book 3, Chapter 36. Varna's Point of View. My bed? I asked aloud. The room was exactly as I left it, a bit messy. "Mum!" I called out, leaving the bedroom hurriedly. "Mum!" No one answered. Searching the house room by room, it was empty. Putting up my phone, I clicked it on, or tried to. It was dead. Plugging it in, I started debating what to do next. Should I wait for it to charge and call Mum? Should I just go to the hospital? How much time does she have? One thought after the next hit me, piling on with worry, dread, sadness, and anger. I was spiraling down a dark hole, making me nauseated with nerves, when finally my phone pinged. It turned on with 1% battery, and I immediately called Mum. It rang, and rang, and rang. Then I got a voicemail. "Dang it," I said, and redialed. It rang again, but only a moment before it was picked up.
Hello?
A voice answered, but it wasn't Mum's. "Hello, who's this?" I asked.
This is Meredith. I am a nurse at the Chrissy NHS Foundation. Is this Jake Vandal?
"Yes, I'm trying to reach my mum, Susan Vandal. Is she, okay?" There was a moment of silence, which caused my breathing to stop in fear of her next words.
She is asleep right now, but you should get here, quickly.
She gave me the address. I thanked her and hung up the phone. I gotten used to not having it, and left it there before running outside. "Chariot," I said, and tried to cast the summoning spell. It was hard, really hard. It felt like putting taffy through the eye of a needle. But in the end, it worked. After filling up some dull jars with manna, I hopped on. It flew really fast, much faster than I expected, but faster than I'd ever had before. It caught me off guard, really. Normally I would have questioned why, wondered about the effects of manna in this world, maybe even tested other things. But in that moment, I was just grateful for the extra speed. The journey wasn't long, and I flew high enough that most people wouldn't be able to see me without looking up. And if they did, I'd probably look like some drone or weather balloon, though I did get a very confused look from a passing helicopter and some pigeons. Finally, I landed on the helipad in the retreatment center, unsummoned Chariot, and went inside. One stop at the information desk was enough to get her room number. The nurse led me to her room, where I found her, laying in the hospital bed, as skinny and sick, connected to IVs and monitors, lying deathly still. If it wasn't for her beeping machines, I would have thought she was dead. Her hair was gone, her cheeks were sunken.
She may not make it through the night. You should say goodbye now. She probably won't wake up,
the nurse whispered, placing a gentle hand on my shoulder. She left, and I sat by Mum's side. My cheeks were hot with tears as I held her frail hand in mine. "I'm sorry," I whispered, feeling like I could choke on the air alone. "I should have been here, should have never left her. If I'd been stronger, a better son. I'm sorry." I don't know how long I stayed at her side, but eventually there was a knock on the door. By there, my eyes burnt, but long since run out of tears. "Come in," I said. A man in a grey and tan suit opened the door. He was heavy-set and balding. "Hello, are you Jake Vandal?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "My name is Caleb Galton. I'm a representative of the Manchester Police Department. But don't worry, I'm not an officer." I took a breath, sighed, and remembered what happened with Detective Lynn so long ago. How she put our warrant for my arrest, stalked me and attacked me. "I asked the staff to inform me if you ever showed up here. Can we speak in the hallway?" "Sure," I said, unworried. If you did try and arrest me, well, an excuse to hit something wouldn't have been unappreciated at the moment. Almost to my surprise, there was no one waiting in the hallway. "Regarding your arrest warrant," he began, "it's been dropped, along with all its associated charges." "What?" I asked. "An investigation was launched due to multiple reports were filed by your lawyer, Mr. Robert Watterson. It revealed several inconsistencies in Detective Lynn's reports. Further investigation revealed falsified evidence. She has been placed under arrest and is awaiting trial. You may be called as a witness, but that is a discussion for a later time." "She falsified evidence? What do you mean?" I asked. "I'm not at liberty to say precisely, but she did tamper with evidence in order to secure a warrant and extend her investigation," he said. "With all that being said, our office is issuing an official apology." "Well, thank you for letting me know." With that, he said goodbye and offered condolences for Mum, and I went back to her room.
"Jake?"
she asked, seeing me, apparently awake now. "Mum!" I ran over and gave her a hug, careful not to hurt her.
"Is this a dream?"
she asked, weakly. Her voice was almost as small as it looked, barely louder than a whisper. No, I'm here. I'm back.
I don't understand.
Mum, we need to get you to Admosia, I said, putting back and holding her hand. I can use magic to heal you there.
But what about that
She took a breath, as if each word were a strangle.
dragon?
You won't be an issue. Just please trust me, I pleaded. There was a moment of silence as she closed her eyes. When she opened them again, she said,
Okay.
Suma, bring me back. The dragon didn't bother me. I'm fine. But I need to come back right now. There was no response. Just silence. However, even across worlds, I could feel her turmoil. She was nervous, confused, and angry. I couldn't help blame her for any of it. I felt the pull of my soul again, just like she had earlier. And then I felt her relief. A moment later, we began to vanish. Mum's eyes were closed. She must have been so tired. It hurt me to think of how much pain she had endured while I wasn't by her side. Guilt hit me in waves each time I looked at her. It wasn't just as that disappeared. The IVs and a couple of the machines she was attached to went with us. However, the ones that needed to be plugged in turned off. We floated through the aether void, the blackness that went on forever. I felt the nearby. He never said a word, but I knew he could sense me too. When finally we reappeared in Admosia, Suma was up to my side, along with the Queen, several royal mages, court mages, drakes, and familiars that I'd seen since the Battle of Island of Zangu. We were in an open field far away from the base. Actually, we were in the training grounds used for the explosive magic training. I looked around and saw even more Niema in the distance.
Fauna.
The Queen asked. Yes, it's me. Now, I need to heal my mum. Will someone bring her food? She's about to get really hungry, I said, and began casting a spell to regrow my arm, and double-casting the one to kill her cancerous cells. The spell took effect quickly. First her heartbeat increased, then her skin color returned, and she opened her eyes, clearly full of energy she didn't have just moments ago. Her sunken cheeks even gained a bit of volume somehow. While the spell was working, I found the saline bag attached to her and squeezed it so that the body would have the nutrients it needed to work as it was repaired. During this, she didn't yell or scream once, probably because of how many pain meds were in her system, because I know from personal experience that this spell hurts. She sat up, completely fine, a bit groggy from the meds perhaps, but otherwise okay.
Jake.
I hugged her and felt all the tension leave my body at once. It weren't for just being summoned, I would have collapsed from exhaustion. 19 hours at least had passed since I'd last slept, but now I felt refreshed and rejuvenated.
My apologies for interrupting a loving moment between family. However,
The Queen said, sounding very strict.
Fauna, Lady Suma has informed me of what happened.
I felt a pang of Suma's guilt hit me suddenly through the connection.
While I appreciate your devotion to family, you risked our whole world in doing so. If you were not the pivotal figure in our operation to defeat the Chaos Dragon, I would have you tried on charges of, well, actually doubt there are any laws that cover the severity of this act, but you will be punished nonetheless.
I understand, Your Majesty.
Lady Susan, was it? Was Sir Fauna's spell successful? Are you well again?
The Queen asked much more gently than when she spoke to me.
I am,
Mum said.
Your Majesty.
She whispered to me, confused. She's the Queen of this country, I said, and Mum gasped. She immediately rose to her feet and bowed respectfully to Queen Ampera.
My apologies, Queen.
Ampera, I whispered.
Ampera, I am well. Thank you for your concern.
She hit me in the thigh lightly to get my attention.
Jake, bow,
she whispered. All is well, be at ease, but Fafnir, I must forbid you from returning to your mother to your world for a time being, until the issue with the dragon has been dealt with. We cannot take such a risk a second, third time. Actually, Queen Ampera, I have news to report about the dragon's state, I said.
I suppose it is not good news?
She asked. No, it isn't, I said, as she sighed. The last remnants of Zacharias saw are nearly gone from the dragon. He will be arriving much sooner than we expected. The Queen's feathers, well, all the feathers in every Niema in the area puffed up. The glitter dimmed to near non-existent.
How much time have we lost?
He could return any day now, at this point. I would say less than a week, 5 at most.
How do you know this?
One of Queen Ampera's guards asked. I saw him in the void. He was nearly fully returned to his true form, and had almost entirely eaten away at Zacharias' soul. The moment the control absorts what is left of Zacharias' will, that is trapping him there.
I see. Then we must double our efforts.
the Queen said, and turned to her attendants.
Send word to all our allies of this, and tell them to send reinforcements immediately. They must arrive within 3 days.
Both of her attendants spread their wings, bowed, and flew away. Then she turned to me.
Varna, you must double our forces' training. They must be ready to fight at any moment. Make it your first priority. That includes the mana resistance training.
If Suma summons me at least once a day, I can go a week without sleep, I said.
Are you certain?
I've done it before. The side effects don't even begin until week 2. Mum side-eyed me with a disapproving glare, but stayed silent. The Queen nodded.
Well then, everyone, you have your objective. Make it happen.
The Queen announced, and we were dismissed.
Jake, why are they calling you No?
Mum asked as we walked out of the room. She held onto my arm for support.
I thought your name here was Centennial or something?
It's a really long story. I looked at Suma, who'd kept a distance. She was upset, but clearly wanted to talk. I summoned Chariot and sat her down. Mum, wait here for a second. I need to talk to Suma. She agreed, and I gave her some fruit, knowing she must have been starving before I went to Suma, kneeling down by her.
Fauna, I am...
Vanna, I'm sorry, I said, faster than she could. There was a moment of quiet.
I told the Queen.
You had to, I acknowledged. I'm sorry for my spell hurt you.
You had to,
she said, with everything that happened between her and Luna. I knew she understood, but that didn't make me feel better about it.
How is your arm?
My arm? I wondered, looking at both of them. Right, my arm was fine. My left one, however, was covered in aspiring burns of overlapping rings. What the?
You did not feel it?
She said. Well, I do now, I said, grasping my suddenly burning arm. I forgot about this part. One healing spell later, and I was physically fine, but somewhat sleepy. These are the effects of a familiar's curse, a security measure built into the summoning spell Suma bonded us together with years ago. I remembered it had saved her against danger before when he was in my body, and I'd experienced it myself as Zachariah a few times before. The only reason I hadn't felt it sooner was probably because I was too busy thinking about Mum.
Better?
Suma asked. Yeah. Want to say hi to Mum?
I do.
End of chapter. I'd greatly like to thank our Tier 5 channel members, Casper Arnholtz, John Creighton, Manatharia, 050, Dragzoon W.R.E, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.